Calaroga Shark Media.
Should Stephen Colbert run for president? I've suggested it before. Hi, I'm Johnny Mac with your Daily Comedy News, a daily briefing on stand-up comedy, comedians, and the comedy industry, which is a phrase you would say, and it might take your Spotify numbers from 11% to 14%, but I don't have time for that right now. Stephen Colbert was at Slate's political gabfest. He was asked if he would run for president in 2028. Colbert replied, "Absolutely, I should not run for president. I understand why you'd want me to. I have to discuss with my faith leader and my family to see if, once my service on The Late Show ends in May, I could be of some greater service to this nation that I love so much." But it sounds like he's not going to run, which is a shame. I think he would be a good candidate. Here's why. He speaks well, he can debate well, and he looks nice. Those are three important things. And he seems calm. We could use a little calm right now. On Crack.com, Keegan Kelly writes, Dave Chappelle and the Saudi royal family deserve each other. In response to some of Mr. Chappelle's jokes, Keegan Kelly writes, in Saudi Arabia, trans people can be beaten, imprisoned, tortured, and murdered for their identities. Homosexuality is illegal in the country, as is gender reassignment surgery and dressing in ways that don't reflect one's assigned sex at birth. Critics of the Riyadh Comedy Festival know that in order to secure his no doubt exorbitant appearance fee at the Riyadh Comedy Festival, Chappelle had to sign a censorship contract guaranteeing that he would not joke about Saudi Arabian culture, religion, or politics, and he would not utter a single word about the Saudi royal family. But ultimately, Chappelle doesn't care about any of that, because none of it prohibits him from performing comedy his way. Plus, as an obscenely wealthy and decorated artist who considers criticism of his comedy to be a civil rights issue, Chappelle clearly empathizes with the Saudi royal family's draconian treatment of dissent. Kelly suggests Dave Chappelle should switch to a Saudi Arabian streaming service for his next 9-figure distribution deal. Johnny Mac didn't realize his voice is a little thin today till he got behind the microphone. Shane Gillis is set to make his BKFC debut in 2026. Now you're like, Johnny Mac, what's BKFC? Is that like a chicken place in Brooklyn? No. BKFC is Bare Knuckle Boxing. Shane Gillis is attending Knucklemania 6. And will walk out heavyweight Patrick Brady at the event on February 7th in Philadelphia. Shane Gillis gave in after Brady posted a series of comedic videos requesting Shane Gillis join his corner. To convince Shane Gillis to walk him out, Brady posted multiple videos of himself taking body shots from other professional fighters until Shane gave in. Gillis commented, "I'm in," after watching one of the videos of Brady getting punched in the stomach. Amy Schumer in the news again. Various reports, including one in the Daily Mail, quoting all sorts of insiders. One insider alleges that Amy Schumer realized she couldn't have it all at once. It was challenging juggling her marriage with the pressures of show business. Her career slowed down after becoming a mom, and she didn't prioritize her professional goals with the same zeal she once did. The insider says that Amy's confidence skyrocketed with her weight loss, and she ultimately chose to focus on her career. The Blast said Schumer not only obtained a toned physique, but gained a more chiseled face. The Blast spoke to some beauty experts. Beverly Hills plastic surgeon Dr. Khan offered his professional opinion. According to Dr. Khan, he agrees that Amy is using filters to achieve her flawless appearance. He believes she either got Botox or is editing her Instagrams. Ricky Gervais was on the Jack Mates Happy Hour podcast and doesn't think he'll do another TV show. Gervais said, "I don't know, I'm really loving stand-up at the moment. When I first started, I thought of myself as a writer, director, and actor, and stuff I'd written and directed, and you do the odd film project, and then I tried stand-up, and I did stand-up tours between series. In the last few years, maybe the last 6, 7, 8 years, it switched around. I feel that stand-up is my job. I feel that I've always got to be doing stand-up. Like when I finish a project, I think of doing something else, and it'll take 3 years. Alley Cats will be, I think, 3 or 4 years after Afterlife ended, but I've just finished the tour, and I've put new material nights in January. So once I finish that, I put that on Netflix, and I'm starting again. I feel now that I'm a touring Netflix stand-up, and I wonder what I'll do in the daytime." Ricky talked about getting older, saying, "If I do 3 gigs in a row now at my age, I wake up and I think, was I run over last night? I got to do another gig tonight." It gets sort of harder, and I don't know if there's an adrenaline dump that I don't notice at the time, or it might just be that I'm 64. When I was a kid, the thought of being 64 was, do you live that long? I know it's different now. I mean, I should be retiring anyway soon. And I don't think about retiring, but I just think it takes a little bit more. Also, it's for the 10,000 pounds for the chickens. I think I don't need to do it. I don't need to have $10,000 to have a chicken. So something's got to be amazing for me to do it. Ricky has donated £2.5 million to animal charities from the proceeds of the Mortality World Tour. Ricky announced on Twitter, "To celebrate my Mortality Tour, my Netflix special, my Golden Globes nomination, and the spirit of Christmas, I am donating $2.43 million to animals. These are the lovely charities I've chosen. Merry Christmas, critters. The list includes the People's Dispensary for Sick Animals, the International Animal Rescue, the Celia Hammond Animal Trust, and Animals Asia. They'll all receive £150,000. Nowzad, which provides animal welfare services in Afghanistan and Ukraine, will be given £132,000, and there are 17 other charities which will all receive £100,000. Ricky Gervais' Mortality is on Netflix, December 30th. Tomorrow on this program, I've got a couple list articles for you. Then on Sunday and Monday, I will take a look at, remember that list of the top comedians of the 21st century? I have some thoughts. Those will be Sunday and Monday's episodes. And then on Tuesday, we'll jump back in with a normal episode. If you're listening on Spotify, follow Daily Comedy News so it shows up in your feed every morning. I hear that's the kind of thing that'll jump your Spotify numbers from 11 to 14% in a hurry. But we don't have time for that right now because it is time for the comedy stock market. Hit it, Burt Reynolds.
Comedy stock market.
Yes, it is the final comedy stock market of 2025, and a reminder, this is not saying somebody's good or bad, it is finding the value so we can make some money on our comedy stocks. My sell recommendation, let's sell Bowen Yang. I know everybody's fawning over Bowen Yang and Bon Voyage, and he's great and all that, and that's when you sell. You get out now, as I said earlier in the week. I'm not sure what Bowen Yang's future is. My comparison is Kate McKinnon. Yeah, he's great on SNL, but are you going to see a Bowen Yang movie? Do you want a Bowen Yang sitcom? I'm not sure you do. Let's sell Kumail Nanjiani. Was his special funny? Sure. But he's not going to stick with this. He wants to be an actor. Everything about him tells you he wants to be an actor. So, yeah, he popped into the comedy stage for a day, and he's gone again. So he's overvalued. Let's sell. And remember, this is all about value. Also overvalued right now is Jimmy Kimmel. Sure, everybody loves Jimmy Kimmel right now, but remember, this is about value. Let's get out on Jimmy Kimmel. Let's buy some Stephen Colbert, because he said he wasn't going to run for president, but he didn't totally say, no way I would run for president, and maybe he was just floating as an idea. So let's scoop up a little Colbert, because you never know what happens. And let's sell some Dave Chappelle. I've never seen a special flame out like that. That went from like, oh my God, Dave Chappelle is a special, to 2 days later, nobody was even talking about it. Was it good? Sure, but Chappelle might be overvalued these days. So we're going to sell Bowen Yang, we're going to sell Kumail Nanjiani, we're going to sell some Kimmel, but I could see us buying back in. We're going to buy Colbert, and we're going to sell Dave Chappelle. I feel bad that that's kind of a negative comedy stock market, but we're here to make money off these things, and that's where the value is. James Cameron, not too happy with Amy Poehler. Back in 2013, Amy Poehler was hosting the Golden Globes. Kathryn Bigelow was a Best Director nominee thanks to Zero Dark 30. Amy Poehler joked, when it comes to torture, I trust the lady who spent 3 years married to James Cameron. Cameron is not happy with that. He told the New York Times, Amy Poehler's remark was an ignorant dig at an event that's supposed to be a celebration of cinema and filmmakers. I'm pretty thick-skinned and happy to be the butt of a good-natured joke, but that went too far. The fact that people found it funny shows exactly what they think of me, even though they have no idea who I am or how I work. Now, look, note to Nikki Glaser, who's hosting the Golden Globes this year, you have to be very, very careful because, you know, some people say they're willing to be the butt of a good-natured joke, and then some people will just stone-face you and practically wreck your career. Like, for example, one time Joe Coy told this horrible, just awful joke about Taylor Swift. Here, let's listen.
The big difference between the Golden Globes and the NFL, on the Golden Globes, we have fewer camera shots of Taylor Swift.
Kevin Spacey is back, baby. You may recall Kevin Spacey was the star of House of Cards. Now, if you put on Netflix, they act like Kevin Spacey's not even in any of the episodes. There's always somebody else on the title card. Kevin Spacey? Never heard of him. Well, Kevin Spacey is now starring in the Italian comedy series Mini Market for Italy's state broadcaster RAI. We're told it's a low-budget show in which the two-time Oscar winner Kevin Spacey plays Kevin Spacey, the imaginary mentor of a young man who works at a Rome convenience store and dreams of becoming a TV star like Kevin Spacey. In a promo, Kevin Spacey sings Randy Newman's You've Got a Friend in Me and Frank Sinatra's I've Got You Under My Skin. I know you want to watch this. What's Mini Market about? Well, Kevin Spacey plays Manilo's artistic conscience and unpredictable mentor. Their relationship is grounded in bickering, misunderstandings, and mutual teasing. The show captures both the experience of a man who's been on the world's most important movie and TV sets and the recklessness of someone who does not realize that they have an Oscar winner by their side. Mini Market is 10 episodes. It's out today on the RAI Play streaming service. And bad news for The Paper. You know, The Office sort of spinoff? Well, they've been airing it on NBC and apparently isn't doing too well because NBC originally was going to run it through January 26th, and now they're like, yeah, we're just going to run 3 episodes on January 3rd, which is a Saturday, which screams they want out of the paper business. I believe it was renewed for Peacock, but apparently not doing well on over-the-air television. And that is your comedy news for today. Again, tomorrow I've got some lists for you, and then Monday and Tuesday I'll take a look at the top comedians of the 21st century so far. See you there.